occurs to me that I have so much running paraphernalia that I've accrued over the years that I use without thinking too much about it, but actually it could be quite valuable for people to know a little bit about what I use, in the hope that maybe that they can go out and use it, or if they haven't thought about it, then this might give them a few pointers. And this week is no different, by the way, because I am going to talk to you about my hydration vest. Now, this particular one is Ultimate Direction, which I believe is the failed boy band that were in direct competition with, yes, you guessed it, Backstreet Boys. But when I talk about Ultimate Direction as a hydration vest, I could be talking about any hydration vest, because there's probably not very much difference to choose from, you know, a little touch here and there, and there are obviously different price points for what different people can afford. So what I'm going to do in this one, because again, these are the types of reviews that I would want to see, is just talk more about what hydration vests can do for you, what you can take with you, and all of those things. But again, I'm not going to do it sat here in the studio because I'd find that boring. I want to know what it would look like and how it would be out on a run. But before we go for the run, we also have to fill it up and get it ready. I picked a cracking day to do a hydration vest review. It is tipping down, like literally cats and dogs. That's bad. Let's get the review on the road, shall we? I'm going to break the review down into 4 parts, which are the things that I would want to know if I was watching a review, and that is, what can you store in there? How much can you store in there? How much does it cost? And can you feel it? Does it bother you? How does it feel when it's on? That's important to me. First up, and I'm probably going to try and do some demos of this back in the studio, is you can fit 2 decent sized bottles of hydration in here. So if you've got your, I forget the name, let's call them wobbly flasks for now, but if you've got your flasks, you can comfortably fit 2 750 millilitres of fluid in here, which could see you through a marathon easy. Other things that I've carried in here regularly on long runs and trail marathons and ultra marathons are the GoPro that I'm filming on. My phone is at the back. I have put this jacket that I'm wearing. When it gets hot, you can crumple it up and there's an area to put that around the back. Winnie's lead, gels, you name it, I've had it in here. So it gets quite bulky, but there's lots of little pouches and zipper pockets and lots of areas for storage. Now, I'll be honest with you, I have no idea about the price because I can't remember, but I'm going to add it in here. And from memory, it is on the pricier side, this particular one, but it's still reasonable for what it gives you in terms of the amount that you can take with you on your runs. And also, and probably the most important for me, is can you feel it when it's on? And I've just done over 11 kilometers. I've done ultra marathons in this, marathons, half marathons. I've never felt it once. It has never bothered me. And whether that's because you have these tassels and straps to get it to the correct tightness for your body shape and body size, but it just doesn't move. It doesn't aggravate me, irritate me. I really like it. But again, as always, with pure honesty, there are some annoyances, and I'm going to go back to the studio because it's wet and it's at the end of my run, so I'm going to go back to the studio to tell you about the annoyances. Back in the studio, and like I say, I'm going to be really honest about a couple of the annoyances that I have about this running vest, and they are minor, but they are annoyances. And the first one is these flasks, these little hydration bottles. This is a 500 milliliter one, and it fits so snugly and nicely into the breast pocket here with no problems whatsoever. But if you want to go any bigger than that, and look, this is really not that big, 750 millilitres, you do struggle, and hopefully it is cutting to me doing this right now, but I struggle to fit it in there. You really have to try and cram it down, and it fits better on one side than the other, and then you have to pull the tassel really tight just to hold it in, because I have had situations where it's actually popped out while I've been running if I'm not careful, because it is too big. And you know, we're only talking 750 millilitres here, and if you want to go on a a long run, a few hours, you want all the fluid with you, and if you've only got 2 lots of 500, maybe that's not enough. But I have managed, I have always managed. It's just an annoyance. And the second annoyance is that really the access on the back, so if you can see that, this is the back of the vest here, and this is the zip pocket where I tend to fit the phone, all right? And while you're running, you could argue you don't really need a phone, but when you do stop and if you do need to contact people, then it is a bit of a faff. You more than likely have to take the vest off than be able to reach round to the back and be able to get the phone out. It is fiddly, but again, it's a storage solution. It's not necessarily for ease of use with a phone like I've got. It stores it, but it does sometimes just cause a minor aggravation, minor irritation. But you know what? These are the 2 things that I've noticed over my time using the vests, and you know, they're not bad, they're not serious. I can live, I can get by with it. So overall, would I use my Ultimate Direction hydration vest? I nearly said One Direction there. Would I use this hydration vest regularly and continue to do so in the future? Yeah, definitely, especially over the winter or especially with longer runs. I never feel it when it's on me. It doesn't bother me. It's even better than a flip belt in terms of the amount you can store, the things you can take with you, and the feel while you're out running. And you might not want an Ultimate Direction hydration vest. There are a number of different vests at a number of different price points, which, by the way, I will link a selection in the video description here. But ultimately, what I wanted from this video was to be able to review a hydration vest to give you an idea of how best to use it and when you should use it, rather than one particular one, because we're all different. And that should come through in your choice of hydration vest as well. So now, a couple of exciting things coming up. Over the next couple of days, the 2nd episode of our podcast is coming out, where we interview the ultra runner John Connolly, a good friend of mine, about how he got started in ultra running and his goals for the future and what he thinks about while he's ultra running, because let's be honest, you've got to think about something. And also coming up Sunday, Mary and I attempted to run the virtual London Marathon between us, because I'm just coming back from injury, but we took the camera out and shared our thoughts about our journey to marathon and why I think everyone should do the London Marathon or aspire to at some point in their life. It's a game changer, but that's coming Sunday. Thanks for watching. If you've got any feedback, let me know in the comments. If you're not subscribed to the channel, then consider it. No hard sell from me, but you know, join the journey, and I will see you Sunday.